Welcome to an all-new live, The Ann Lynn Show, with your hosts, Ann and Lynn. On today's show, we're talking with Jen, and we are going to be learning all about the reunification of families through the Department of Child Services. And now, here are Ann and Lynn. And Jen.
Yay!
Good morning.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning.
Yes. Are we ready to clink in?
I'm ready to clink in.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I can clink. Clink. Let's go one more time. You can hear it.
Woo! Woo! Good morning.
Sip of coffee.
That's good coffee this morning.
Mine is too. I gotta be careful I don't spill it. Well, good morning and welcome to the Ann Lynn Show. I am Ann.
And I'm Lynn.
And I have our special guest today, Miss Jen is here.
Yay.
Welcome, Jen.
Thank you.
She's Jen. She's Jenny on the Ann Lynn Show.
And you know what?
Today, what?
We welcome Tony, cameraman of Ann Lynn Show, and Travelers Guild made it today. So,
yes. Are we ready? The major.
Whoops. Okay.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah.
Major's in the house. Major's in the house.
Wow. Wow. That's wonderful. Maya.
Helen, good morning, Helen. Chris,
There we
Lynn,
go.
or Lynn, let's give them a, whoever you are, let's give some granny kisses.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning.
Ari _55. Good
Woo-hoo,
morning, Ari.
Ari. Good morning, Ari. So glad you're here today, too. It's going to be a good show today, and we are going to be talking. We have a heavy subject to talk about. It's a very serious, serious and sober discussion today on the Ann Lynn Show.
Yes.
About the reunification of families through the what?
Department of Children's Services.
Yeah, Department of Children's Services. So we'll get into that in just a little bit. But first, we got to talk about Jen is my stepdaughter, my lovely stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And her and her family are visiting with Dave and I, and we are so happy that they've come up to see us in upstate New York.
That's right.
It was a long journey, wasn't it?
It was a long journey. Yes.
It was a long journey.
But beautiful once you got to New York.
It is, isn't it? It is really pretty here.
It is.
Yeah, I just still am amazed how pretty it is. I'm anxious to see the beginning of the fall. I saw the tail end of the fall last year. So we'll see.
You know what?
What?
Jen is from my part of the world.
She is.
Yeah.
She's from the
She lives
Midwest.
probably within 10 miles of me, I would say.
Yeah. At least. Yes. So anywho, they have been doing sightseeing, and we all went day before yesterday to Letchworth State Park. And
Beautiful.
It is a beautiful state park, isn't it? It's rated one of the top state parks in the country. And it's also called the Grand Canyon of the East.
Yes.
And I have just a little clip to show. I thought everybody might enjoy seeing it. Now, I know Jen's got tons and tons of pictures because you went down into the canyon, didn't you?
We stopped at every overlook we could. So
Yeah. Dave and I pooped out and left.
It was hot.
It was hot. But we had a nice picnic lunch in a shelter house. We found a shelter house. And but I don't know what was up with the moths.
Lots of moths.
Oh.
Only in that area. When we left there.
Oh, really?
It was
Just
fine.
there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what the deal was, but there must have been thousands,
Yes.
if not
I agree.
millions of moths everywhere, and they just flew around just everywhere. So we found this shelter house, and we got in there, and we had our picnic lunch, and that was good. And then
seems like we went and saw a little bit more, and then it was just like I was done. Grandma can only do so much, and then and Grandpa, so I had to come home. But anyhow, Mickey Mouse Operation, good morning to you. Good morning. And so anyhow, I've got this little clip, and I'm just going to show it because it just gives you just a taste of what we saw. So everybody, bear with me, and I'm going to pull that up.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah, that waterfall.
It was amazing.
It was, wasn't it?
Because we stopped at the first overlook. You guys had already passed it and we saw it.
Yeah.
And so we backed up in the middle of the road and avoided cars to get out. And that was it. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but it would be like what I would think it is.
It is. I have been, and it is. It's like a little mini Grand Canyon. Yeah, it is really pretty. It is really nice.
Yeah,
and then you guys went to some place I haven't been yet, but we will get there. So you went to
Niagara Falls yesterday.
Wow. Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So not too far of a drive from here and very scenic. We were shocked because we thought it would go to an interstate and you would drive all the way up there. But until the last 10 minutes outside of Buffalo, it was all rural roads. So lots of beautiful farmland and scenery all the way there until the last 10 minutes.
Wow.
So that was wonderful. And so when we got there, it's very busy as expected, but there's so many overlooks that you're not swamped by people. So you can go to different places. And it was as beautiful as you would imagine. We did say we feel like the Canadian side is probably the prettier side.
Yeah.
So we'd like to go there one day, but the Horseshoe Fall was the best. And that's where people used to go over in the barrels.
Oh, wow.
Did they have any plaques on the walls or any?
No, there's a visitor center that you can go in and go downstairs, and they have a theater where you can watch some information on it, and they have some information in the basement.
Okay.
But for the rest of it, you're just kind of on your own. You can take the trolley, the scenic trolley, and it's $3 a person, and you can ride it all day, off and on.
That's really reasonable.
And so they take you to different spots in the park, so you don't have to walk for miles.
Yeah,
it's pretty spanned out.
Yeah.
So, but it was gorgeous.
So they've just been doing a lot of sightseeing, and there's a lot to see here, isn't it?
There is.
This way,
yeah.
And I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface of it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get to any of the local stuff around here. There's museums and little ones, and now we did see what was that little tiny jail on the way.
Yes. That was
neat. It was like a one-room jail that was from, was it 1873?
I think you're correct.
Something like that. Yeah. And so that was kind of funny to drive by just in this little tiny town. Everything is so old here.
Yes.
It's not like Europe old, but it's for here it's old, and this is the part of the country where our country started and where the people really, and then they branched out and went west. And so there is a lot of old history here.
Yeah. And all the little towns are so neat. They have if we had weeks, so we just stop at all of them and go to the different stores and restaurants, and it's so neat.
Yeah. There's a lot to see and a lot to do around here. So anyhow, so you want to do your shout outs? She's going to, we're hoping that the girls are watching at the office.
Hi, girls at the office. Hi, Mal, Liz, Cassandra, Paris, Amy.
Granny kisses to you.
Miss you all.
So if they're not watching live, maybe they'll catch the replay. Yeah, they're going to see Jen. Okay. Well, she's doing a good job.
Yes. Helen says, Jen, it sounds amazing. Thank you for sharing. And Jen, Helen is from way across the sea.
She is.
Yeah.
And so is the major.
And the major, yes. There you go. Great Britain and Ireland.
Yeah. So we have gone international on the Ann Lynn Show.
Wow.
Oh, you guys, I do want to tell you too. So the kids got me onto TikTok.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So the Ann Lynn, you'll be able to see. We're on TikTok, and so just look for the Ann Lynn Show on TikTok.
Well, tell them already. We've been on there, and how many views? A couple of
hundreds of
over
views.
500 views.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want anybody going to TikTok right now.
No,
After the show, if you're on TikTok, I kind of resisted it, but then was like, okay, well, I did it. And so check us out, the Ann Lynn Show on TikTok and the TikTok.
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 Like a clock.
Oh, a TikTok.
Okay, Granny. Okay, Granny.
Definitely showing my granny side. Go to TikTok and see us there. So anyhow, you'll have to check it out. So, and I'll be posting more, and we'll be making more. So it will be pretty funny, I think. And we may go viral there.
It's getting close. 2 videos in, and that many views is a lot.
Yeah, so. I mean, it was like over 500 for each of them. So I think that's quite a bit. And the one I just posted last night. So don't go there yet. Just wait till the show's over, and then you can go there.
Speaking of channels and views,
yes,
your hubby Dave has his own channel.
He does. And if you're into gaming they're like they're what do you call it? They're solitaire board games. They're board games that and I'll put it up here. It's called Dave. Yeah, this is a shameless plug. Dave's Gaming Cave on YouTube. And but he's
been like getting 400 views and different.
Oh yeah. He is hit, no offense, but he's hit the gaming nerds.
Right. No offense.
And he's really doing well. I'm really, really proud of him. And he really enjoys it in his, he just it's another hobby for him. And so I'm really proud of your dad. He's
doing a great job.
He is. And so if you don't want to watch, just go sub. That's all. Yes. He needs subscribers. Everybody go over there and subscribe. So anyhow, but if you like board games, and most of them are war games, although he has a racing, like NASCAR racing game.
Yes.
He's branching out. And so the end game for this is I'm hoping that some of the game developers will start sending him games that he can do unboxings. And then he does like a playthrough on them. And all you see are his arms. And you hear him because he's playing the game and he's really expressive. And that's what I get a big bang out because he's got a passion. You can tell he's got a passion for these games. And I don't get it, but he does. And these other people do. So woohoo, yay. So anyhow, so what's going on at your house, Lynn?
Well, since now I wasn't on the show last Wednesday.
No, you weren't.
No, I had to let Memo come on. She wanted to come on and surprise Snafu.
Yeah.
Well, she wound up getting a terrible surprise.
Oh, yeah. I think I can show that terrible surprise.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it here.
Okay. Well, she wound up getting a shock.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. You want me to show the terrible shock?
Sure. What was the shock?
Vladma.
It was Vladma. And oh my goodness. So you know what happened?
That up.
You know what happened?
Yeah, I do.
They asked the audience.
I know.
Who Snafu should wind up with, and it was like over 75% of the audience last Wednesday said that Snafu should go with Vladma. Well, don't you know? Oh, I'm telling you.
Oh, I know. I think it hurt her feelings.
I
think it hurt her feelings, you guys.
Well, she recoups pretty fast. I'll
She
tell you
does.
one thing about Memo. She really doesn't hold grudges for very
No,
long.
she doesn't. And today we're going to be showing her very first Dear Mama, where Mama answers your questions that you emailed to her.
Very excited. For
So
this.
if you want, we could show that now.
Well, can I give a little background real quick though?
Absolutely.
I just want to continue in the vein of what I was doing last week.
Okay.
Cameraman and I had, for the first time, we hosted our 9-year-old grandson. He lives about 3 hours away. Yeah, he lives 3 hours away.
Yep.
And we met him halfway with his dad, and he came home with us and for 3 nights. And we went to a movie, and we saw a cute little
What did you see?
Peter Rabbit 2.
Oh,
I've heard that's really good.
It was so cute, and it had such a twist that I didn't see it coming.
So you give it 2 thumbs up?
Oh yeah.
Peter Rabbit 2. Okay.
Yeah. And then we went the next day. We went to a Indiana. We went to Indiana Caverns. And, it was exciting. He did the Bat Chaser, which is like what's that thing when you go down? Zip line. And we went in the cave itself, and I survived. I should have gotten a sticker. It said I survived. There was 120 steps coming back up.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Going down, okay, but coming up. And anyway, we did that. And then once we got back in that cave, guess what?
What?
We got on a boat.
Oh.
In the cave, and we went back 3/4 of a mile.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. That's all I can say.
Huh? Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Going in caves is pretty cool.
Then we went into the escape room.
You're not a fan? Mm-hmm. Not a fan of the cave?
Oh, this was neat, I have to say. It's only been open, I don't know, 10 years or less. It's relatively a new cave to the public. And then we went to an escape room where we did terribly.
Wow.
Had to be rescued. We couldn't rescue the cavers, but we had to be rescued out of there.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, and then we did gem mining. And we sent him home with about 10 pounds or more of gems.
Oh.
And you know what he said? He said that was the best. That was the best.
Oh, he liked that.
Then I'll just tell you, we traveled. We got to visit our mom, Ann. We just see his memo.
Yeah.
And I got to visit with her, and it was wonderful.
Good.
And then we did one more thing. We did a jet boat tour on the Ohio River.
Wow.
Oh, and, you crammed a lot into that 3 days.
Oh, we went to a state park too. I forgot.
Yeah, they every minute you were busy, weren't you?
We tried to keep busy, and we had world famous Mama Rosa pizza, and so he had never had that.
Really?
No, he'd never had it, and also he'd never had donuts from our local donut shop.
Oh.
Now, unfortunately, he rated the pizza number 2 to what he likes in his area, and he rated our bakery number 2 compared to his up.
Oh well, I know where their bakery's at. It's pretty big.
Yeah, but anyway, we think ours are number 1 down here. So
it's what I miss when I'm not home.
That's right.
And the other thing that I had you guys bring me when they came back was it a month or so ago now since you've been here? But I had you guys bring me some Eckrich smoked sausage and kielbasa.
Right, because your area doesn't have it.
Yeah, they don't have Eckrich meat products here, like bologna and lunch meats and stuff. And I guess it's a regional thing, and so that's what I really wanted. And so y'all brought me some, which I was like, I'm divvying it out little at a time. I mean,
That's right.
they have kielbasa and smoked sausage here. It just doesn't taste like, to me, it's different. There's some stuff that's just different, you know.
Right.
There's no Starbucks
There's no
close to
Starbucks.
no, it's all Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go like north of here, and then it's
Oh,
you can get it, but it's like Tim Horton, you know, like
Yeah.
did you see the Tim
I
Hortons?
did see a Tim Hortons
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's more popular.
And a KFC.
Oh, KFC. We have no KFC here.
we do. Don't we, Jen?
I finally found a place that makes fried chicken. And so it's just a
good.
little, the little grocery store.
Grocery store.
But yeah, so
We had a great time. So
yeah,
we
I'm
enjoyed
so
for a
glad
first
you-
visit.
yeah.
We had a great time. So I actually took pictures, and I had them developed. So I'm sending him all these pictures in and out.
Oh, he'll love that.
I'll be getting
will-
it out today.
He
Yes.
will love that. He will
Memories
love it.
from grandpa and grandma.
Yep, summer 2021.
Yes.
Um,
So anyway, back to Memo. Do you Memo? I have to tell you, she is really excited because she had so many questions come in already.
I know.
She's like,
A
wow.
lot. People are and what they're
Oh,
they've
and they're
been-
coming in from TikTok.
I think so, because there's been a little bit woo out there, but she's gonna address them. Mama will address those questions.
Well, do you want to show the first episode of Dear Memo?
I sure can. I guess we can do that right now, and then we're gonna talk to Jen. And
Yes.
we're going to talk about
We're
what
gonna
she
find out.
does.
Yes.
I know her profession.
Reuniting families.
I know. So here's Dear Mama.
Well, good day to you. This is Memo coming to you from Dear Memo. And I just want to thank you for your questions. I have 2 questions I'm going to answer this day. That's right. And so let me, without hesitation, hang on. Okay. Without any much ado, here's question number 1. Dear Memo, my son sent me a picture of Miss Coco. Okay. There's Miss Coco right there. Hello, Miss Coco. So there she is. And he wanted me to describe the sounds that chickens make when they are broody. Oh, wanted Mama to make a broody sound. Okay. I was driving with my mom, Ann, at the time. Mom took the video of me describing the sounds. Okay, roll that video, Ann. Let's see if I can. Let's see what them sounds like. Them broody chickens.
What does the chicken do? What's the chicken do? What's the chicken do?
Your chicken's broody when she goes.
She puffs.
That's a broody chicken.
That's a broody chicken. That's a broody chicken. Okay, well, let's go on. Now we know what a broody chicken sounds like. I was wondering if you can make... What? Hang on here. Hold on, the girly. I was wondering if you can make the same sounds as a broody chicken like Miss Coco does. Me? Little old Mama? Well, let's see if I can do it. Hang on. I gotta get ready. I gotta get prepared. This is my national debut of a broody chicken sound. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, Mama.
That's my sound of a broody chicken. I love you, Mama. Love your great-granddaughter, the crazy chicken, the girly. Oh, she says here, for all of us who don't know, well, I do know what it means for chickens to go broody. It means they want to hatch their eggs and they want to become a mama. Maybe the mama. That's really a good question, my dear. I really appreciate that. And I thank Ann for putting in the picture in the video. But I have a question before I go to my next question. That's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good. The question is, who do you think did better? My granddaughter, great-granddaughter, or me, Mama? You can drop a line down in the what do you call it? Chat. I think there'll be chat in here. Yeah, there'll be where you can leave me a message. So, who did better as a broody chicken? And the second question today comes from Hobo_BR549. Okay, Hobo. Dear Mama, did you eat turkey or ham at the first Thanksgiving? You guys must think I go back to the Mayflower, but I have to tell you what I ate last Thanksgiving. We had a broody chicken. We sure did. Now, for a surprise that none of you know about, I heard through the grapevine, that's ran, Miss Grapevine, that when Vladimir showed up and you all voted if Snafu My Boo should go with me, Mama, or Vladimir, you voted almost little over 3 to 4. Over 70% of you said that my boo ought to go with Vladimir.
Poor Mama.
Well, I'm a good sport. I can give up my boo, I guess, for Vladimir. If it was anyone else, I'd probably have a very hard time, but I like that Vladimir. So, no hard feelings, no bitter feelings. I love them all. That's right. Oh, you didn't have to show me her picture at Vladimir. Well, anyways, I love you all. And I'm going to close for now. Send me some more questions. I just loved answering your questions today, and I'll be back next week with some more questions. I will. And you send it to, it's all lowercase, dearmama@gmail.com. That's right. Send me a question. It can be any kind of a crazy question, as we're going to find out in the days coming up, in the weeks. No, don't do that to me, Ann. Ann, don't do that to me. You just, Ann, I'm gonna get you. No, I'm not. I'm a nice girl. I'm a nice memo. Anyway, I love you all, and I'm gonna give you some memo kisses. And I'll see you right back here at Dear Memo. No! Oh no! Goodbye. Oh, Memo.
Oh,
Now,
Memo.
did you see, we had a question come in for Dear Memo.
I wrote it down, so I
Thank
will
you.
send it to her.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, the major had a question, so I'm going to send this to Memo. Why is a boxing ring called a ring when it's a square? Well,
Wow.
I will be looking forward to her answer.
Yes.
It'll probably be in a few weeks, but you'll have to stay tuned.
Right.
It could be next week. It could be next week, Major.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a lot of fun so far, but we need to talk to Jen and talk about what she does.
Yes.
And so it's good. We're talking about children, aren't we?
Yes.
And the placement of children and child services.
Yes.
And so, Jen, I'm just going to ask you just to kind of describe your job. I know it's a lot to it, and I want to just say we had Miss Erica was on a few months ago, and she talked about they are a placement family, so they have children in their home that they're helping. So we had now we're getting the flip side of that discussion, really. And what the services that you guys provide. So just go ahead and tell us about your job. And
So we would be a provider, is what we call ourselves. I'm an actual therapist for the children and families. So when a child is neglected or abused, then the Department of Child Services, DCS, is what we call it back in Indiana. Some people more likely known as CPS. I think that's the CPS is what it's been for years, but they've changed that because it got a bad connotation.
Sure.
So when they get involved and they open a case on that family, so whether the family is still together or if the children have been removed, and then they're either placed with family or a foster family is what other people would call it. We call them placement families.
Right.
Then DCS will open up services to that family. So their goal is to keep that family together if they're still together, or to reunify if they have been separated. So then those services that they put in place would be where we come in. And so we offer a multitude of services, from home-based case management. And that's where you would, if you're working with a family where the children are still placed there, you would work on maybe finding employment or housing, connecting them to AA or NA, helping them with rules in the home, behavior of the children. And then we can also assist the placement families on the other side if they're having issues with the behavior of the children, maybe don't know how to handle that, because obviously when kids are removed, it's very traumatic. And so behaviors tend to come out. And so they need assistance with that. We also offer therapy. And so that's can be to either side also. So the families that are still together and the children, or the placement families and the children there. And then we offer assessments. So that would be to help DCS put services in place if they didn't know what all the family needs.
Yeah.
So we can do parenting assessments, which look at what issues maybe are between the parents and the children. Do they need help with bonding or behaviors with the kids? So we would know what services to put in. And we also do substance abuse assessments.
Wow.
So what are some of the reasons why kids are taken out of the home?
So then I would say probably the highest, the 95%, would be due to substance abuse.
Drugs and alcohol.
At this time. And then the other 5% would be a variety of home conditions that the parents aren't working on. Yeah. Or just neglect in general of the children. And then abuse.
Yeah. Oh, so, I know it's sad, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I've done it for about 7.5 years at this point. And you just learn you have to use a lot of self-care. So you don't take it home.
Yeah, that would be hard, because you've got to have compassion for these people. And I know you do. Yes. But yet you don't want to take it home.
Right.
And affect your family too. Yeah. So it'd be a fine balance. I don't know really.
Yeah, I had to learn to put boundaries pretty quickly, because when I first started, it was you want to go out and help. And so if they're calling you at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, you're on your phone, like trying to help them. And I had to quickly put boundaries in place of, if it's that big of an emergency, on our work phones, we have a number they can call to our office, and they'll get hold of what we call our bat phone, our on-call. Yeah. That's 24/7. So I had to start putting that in place because it was just too much.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, Jen.
Yes. Well, Lynn, do you have any questions for Jen?
I was just going to ask, Jen, do you see success with reuniting families, or, do you see hope there?
It can become very frustrating. I always say in the 7.5 years I've done it, I can count maybe on 2 hands the families that have fully reunified. That I've had, that I've
right. Oh yes, your experience.
So I'm sure there are more, but it is very frustrating. And those are the families that keep you going, though. So they do give you the hope that
Yes.
it can happen.
Yes.
And then they become your story when you go meet with a new family. So you can't share their names or,
Right.
a lot of identifying information, but you can share, I saw this family that kind of had the same things you had going on, and they fought through this and they're back together and they're doing well. So
Wow.
you can use a
Oh,
lot of that. Yeah, it is.
Well, and the families have to want to get back together too,
Yes.
isn't it? I mean, the parents,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine. It would be so devastating, first of all, to have your kids taken away, but you've caused that situation, right? They've caused that. And then I would think you would do anything you possibly could to get your kids back.
Yeah, and I think that's what we would think.
You
because
think that
that's where
as
we
a-
would be.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
If our kids were ever removed, I would fight tooth and nail to get them. But
right.
you don't see that because they're using substances. And so the substances take over their life and they take over those thought patterns. So until they can quit that
Right.
and get help for that, they don't have those thoughts of hurrying up to get their kids back.
Well, they want it, but like you said, wanting it and being able to do it too, it's two
Right.
different things. I'm sure that most of them want it. I would, hope, right, that
Yes.
most families want to be reunited. Although we know that there are those out there that have children and really, maybe they don't really want a family and that responsibility once they have it. So I'm sure it's heartbreaking, but like you said, the others give you hope to carry on, don't they?
Yes, they definitely do. Yeah, they're your positive story that you will cling to. And when you see them in the grocery store sometimes, or, I have one family that every year around the same time, they'll just send me a text and say, hey, just letting you know we're still doing well. And so that's always good to hear that years later, they're still together and doing well. So.
And what's great is, well, one thing when you mentioned it, I was thinking about the children that have been taken out of the home. And you said that, there's behavioral problems. So really there's a result of, I can't imagine, you're whatever age, if you're age of where you can reason this out, like say you're 8 years old or 9 years old, and you realize you've been taken out of what you know. I mean, even though it's a bad situation, I can imagine that they would be angry, terribly angry.
Yes,
And
a lot
that's all they know.
Yeah, a lot of the behaviors do come from that anger, the unknown. They're with a family maybe they don't know. It can't be placed with family, and the trauma that comes with that removal. So that's why when DCS puts these services in place, we go to the placement families' homes also, because we want to keep those placements. We don't want them to be moved again and again and again because of their behaviors, because that just adds more and more trauma.
Yeah.
I was in Branson and I was at a show down there that's a regular show, and the gentleman that sings and does his routine, he came from the foster system, and of course he's older now. And at one time he said he went from house to house. His sister did also. They went from home to home.
Yeah.
And I think that now, at least thank goodness now, you probably endeavor the best. Like you said, you have services for the foster family to use. And I'm sure that nowadays the focus is on trying to keep that foster child with that foster family, isn't it? As opposed to years ago, I'm sure the services were up to par for their time, but not nearly as good as now, actually.
Yes. Yeah. So you don't see that much movement as you used to. Like when I meet with adult clients now whose children have been removed, you'll hear a large majority of them have been in foster care before, and they'll talk about the constant moves that they had. And so they've tried to stop that now. So their first goal is to put those children with family. So they will go through all kinds of phone calls and, family members to see if they can place the children with family first. And then they'll look for the placement family and then try to leave them there as long as they can.
Wow. Thank goodness for those that can step up and say, hey, we would like to open our home.
Yes.
And I know from, our family having foster children, I know that they went through a lot of, training continues, doesn't it?
Yes, so it's continued training for them. I know they have to have so many hours and classes every year, and in order to keep their license, and they have to through so many house checks that are pretty in depth also to make sure the home's up to par for the children. And yeah, there's a lot more regulations in place now than what there used to be.
So you used to actually go into the homes yourself, didn't you?
I still do. I'm a supervisor now, so I don't have as many clients, but I still have a few that I've had for many years that I'm waiting for those children to be adopted. So I didn't want to close those cases until they are fully adopted. And then I did just take a new case recently just to kind of keep myself in the therapy role. I don't ever want to fully be out of that. I just love it so much. I love helping these families as much as I can. So,
which I know I couldn't do it. So I don't have the right. I'd be bawling my eyes out all the time. I couldn't do it. Could you, Lynn?
Calling. I think
it's a calling.
Jen has a calling on her life.
Yeah,
because it's not everyone can do that. Absolutely.
I'm sure there are. There's men therapists too.
Yes. Yeah. We wish we had a lot more. There's not enough. And so when we get them, we are very excited. And our caseworkers too, because we do have a mentoring program for the children. So we would kind of like a big brothers, big sisters in a way. But we would connect a girl with a girl and a boy with a boy so that they have someone to look up to and can talk to them. And they kind of go out and have some fun while they work on just normal daily living tasks that they're going to need as they continue to grow older. So when we get a male caseworker or a male therapist, we're very excited because the social work field is very female oriented for the most part.
Yes. Major has a question. He said, are children predominantly placed with moms or fathers?
I think it just depends on who had the children when the case opened. So if they both did, then the case stays with like mom and dad unless they decide to split. And then it would be whoever got healthier. Whoever worked on those issues the fastest. But if the children were removed from mom and then they found dad would get custody and he would get the children and vice versa. So it just kind of depends on the situation.
Wow. Okay. Goodness.
Then the major had just a comment and said there's lots of abusive mothers out there. Say moms and dads.
Yeah.
And other family members and friends, probably. Right.
Yeah. Before I started this job, I was a manager at the domestic violence shelter back home. So I did that for a period of time. So I saw that side of things also with the domestic abuse.
Yes.
So that was a whole nother side of things.
Yeah, that would be.
That cycle is even harder to deal with because the control and the manipulation are so strong on that person that you see them come to get help and they go right back. And so that's probably one of the hardest cycles to deal with compared to any of the others.
Right. When women make a decision, though, what's nice is for years in our community, we've had a women's shelter. And I think a lot of the women, I could be wrong, maybe you can help me. Are they from out of town, a lot of the women who live at our shelter?
They come from different areas. So we do have, when I was there, it was a large majority was probably our area, but there's only a few actual domestic violence shelters in like our region.
Yes.
And so they would come from other areas for help. So you did see kind of a range of different counties.
Right. And I know that there's a lot of services here for them. I know that they have vouchers for clothing here.
They get vouchers. The shelter itself is set up just like a house. It was very nice and clean, and they had everything they needed there, from clothing to
Yeah.
Personal supplies, everything they needed. Food was there. They didn't have to buy anything. Everything was
Wow.
completely provided for their whole stay. And then if they worked the program well, they helped them get a job and a vehicle. And then they have a transitional housing program also to set them into housing for up to 2 years until they, get on their feet, and then they could get their own housing. So it's a really good program.
That it is. So you've seen you've seen from the domestic side all the way to what happens to children.
Yes. Yeah.
The
Seen a
full
lot.
circle.
Right.
Yeah.
first
The full circle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Goodness.
But there has to be some upsides to it, right? You've had some success stories.
Yes.
Let's hear about the
Definitely
success stories.
Yeah. So, like the one family I was talking about that gets hold of me every year, just let me know they're doing okay. They were involved for about 6 years before I got involved. And I am also certified in our family-centered treatment program, which is our most intensive program. So they get the most intensive services. So on average, that family would get at a minimum 4 hours of therapy each week. That's not including any other services. So casework or anything like that would also be added to that. It's a 6-month program. And if they work that program the way that they should and get through all of it in the 6 months, it has a 92% success rate that DCS will not get involved again within the next year.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
So it's a really good program. So that family had been involved for about 6 years at that time. And they were ready to have rights terminated by the judge. And he said, I'm going to give you one last chance to do this program. And I got connected with this family, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing. And so we're probably 3 to 4 years away now, and they're still doing wonderful.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So there is success out there.
Right.
Yeah.
We're given the right tools for communication, how to do even the simplest things in life, how to deal with feelings and how to deal with their children, how to treat their children.
So that program,
the light turned on for them, didn't it? The light bulb went on, and they decided that their love came out, didn't it?
Yes. So that program is very specific in how we use it. So the very first month of it is completely focused on what we call joining with that family. So we just take a month to really get to know them and for them to get to know us and build trust and a bond.
Right.
And then we move into what we call restructuring, and it's very hands-on. So if we're trying to teach a family how to handle behaviors or how to communicate, we're going to show them how to do it. And then we're going to have them practice right after us.
Right.
So they're completely learning brand new skills every single time we see them so that they know how to communicate better, how to handle behaviors better, anything that might be affecting that family.
Helen has a question. Have you seen more cases now because of CV?
Because of the CV.
I would say, so we never did stop. Obviously, child safety is the number one. So we were essential workers the entire time.
Wow.
So we were still in the homes, seeing these families wearing masks, obviously, and had sanitizer and everything we could to keep ourselves safe. We did some virtual, but you can't make sure that kids are safe without going into the homes and seeing them. So I would say that with school being out, we probably didn't see as many cases as we typically do because school is virtual. Because the schools are, they call the hotline a lot and report these cases of neglect and abuse. So I would say now that school is back in, we have a lot more cases now. It's pretty busy compared to what it was during COVID. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's true because teachers are really a line of defense too, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. The teachers are the ones that, the kids are there 8 hours a day. So they see a lot from the kids and hear a lot. So they're the ones that call the hotline most often, I would say.
Right. They notice if the children have changed, their attitudes changed, or their clothes
Yes.
changed, or their cleanliness has changed.
Correct.
Or maybe it's always been that way. Then they go ahead and reach out, don't they?
Yes.
So the families are having issues.
Mhm.
Okay. Is it that like the mom and dad, or probably mostly the mom, stuff was done to them as a kid? Is it like a generational? You
So
find that?
we do find that.
Mhm.
We do this really cool thing called a genogram in our family center treatment program. And it's basically a family tree, but we go more in depth with it. So you'll do your whole family tree, and then we add subjects like substance abuse, physical abuse, anyone that's been incarcerated. And so they go in and add these different colors and levels of things that might have happened in their life throughout 3 generations. And then they can see how that has came down to them and is coming to their children, so that they know where and how they need to stop that from continuing to happen. So we do see that a lot. Science has come along and said a lot of the things that we do and addictions that we have are generational.
Yes.
They just continue
For
through the generations until somebody chooses to stop them. Yeah.
Well, anybody else have any questions?
That's right.
Have any other questions out there? Oh my!
They're chatting amongst themselves.
Yeah, they're chatting among. That's fine.
It is.
Fine. That's fine.
We also have a program that we use if DCS is not involved. So DCS might have gotten a call, and then they decided that it didn't warrant a case.
Right.
They didn't need to open one. So they can call what's called our Community Partners Program, and it opens services for 3 months for the family. And anyone can refer a family. So you could, Ann, you could, Lynn, the teachers could refer, the people can refer themselves as long as they don't have DCS involvement or probation involvement for the kids. And so then we can offer services for 3 months at a time. So it's not like limited. They can't only do it once and done. They could do it once for 3 months, then come back in 9 months and do it again for whatever they might need. So whether they need help with their electric bill, water, maybe getting connected to therapy services, we could offer them therapy for 3 months while we wait for them to get into therapy somewhere, because sometimes there's a wait. We have a whole closet at our office where if they need diapers or wipes, fans because it's hot, I mean, we just have a huge closet of things that we can give these families to help them out. If they need school supplies, a lot of times, like on a Friday afternoon, we'll get a referral in where a family needs food. And so we have gift cards to Kroger or Walmart where one of our staff can go get food for them. We don't give them the gift card because we want to make sure they get the food. And food that will last a family, not just junk food. So our staff is trained on exactly what would make a family of 5 have enough food for a week or 2. So they'll go out and do that. So we have that program also, which is completely free for them, and we'll offer them anything they need.
Wow. That's great. That is great. So there are resources out there.
Absolutely.
So in general, if you are anywhere in the United States, say, and you needed help, so who would they contact? Their local city? The state, county? How would they get in touch?
They could call their local city and try to get information on what services are in that area. Or they could call like their, what we call here SNAP benefits, but like their food stamp office would have a lot of resources for them on different things that they need or could find. There's different ways in different cities you could find resources.
So please go. If you need help, ask for help. And if you know somebody who needs help, please tell them that these resources are there, because,
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Free-handedly made. How long does a parent have to do what they need to do to get the child back? I'm wondering what the process is for foster to turn into a possible adoption.
That is a great question. And so I'd love to say that I have a set answer for that, but there's not one. It just depends. So, like I was saying earlier, that one family had been involved for 6 years. That's not common in Indiana. After what they say, 15 months of the last 24 that the child has been removed, then termination of parental rights has to be filed in court. So 15 of 24.
Who filed that, Jen?
The judge did, the courts do.
Okay.
So DCS files it in court, the judge signs off on it. Now, when I first started this job, it was pretty quick process after that. It was like, okay, we'll have another court hearing, and if they haven't done anything, we're going to go ahead and terminate, and we're done. These kids will be adopted out. However, that has changed because you saw a lot of parents kind of start to sue the state. They didn't think that things had been done correctly. So now it's kind of a longer process. So they'll file, and then they'll set out a permanency hearing for 3 months and see if the parents have done anything. So if they then have kicked in gear, then they'll wait and continue to see. So it can be a longer process. The families that I have right now that are in the midst of the adoption process, they have filed all the paperwork to adopt the children. They have been open for about 3 years at this time, and termination has not occurred yet.
Wow.
So it's close. We're there. It's just waiting for the adoption process to happen.
Okay.
So is that about the average then, about 3 years?
I would say that's probably the average now. I would say about 3 years. And
Wow.
I will say, please, 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 if you're going to adopt, do foster to adopt. There are so many children that need homes. I know you can look on your state, you can Google your state with the foster care registry and find a list of children that are needing homes. Indiana has a large list of over 1,000 children on there that are just waiting for homes. So if you're going to, and there are so many services they can put in place to help you. And if you do foster to adopt, you get a per diem every month until those children are 18 to help you continue to pay for them even after the fostering has ended. So after you have adopted them, you still get a per diem every month to help pay for that.
Okay.
Are the foster families, or what's their median age? I mean, do you have people my age that take on? I mean, is that, I mean,
yeah, and we have lots of families from different ages, and I would say we definitely have families in your age range that have been doing it for a long time.
what about first timers?
We have a lot of first timers that
Old, like they're empty nesters and their grandparents, and
Yes.
now their house is empty and
right,
They
and they
wanna
just
help.
want to help.
Uh-huh.
And some of them will just be homes to foster. They won't adopt
Right.
because
right.
of their age. They don't want
Right.
to do that, but they're
Right.
just there to love on the kids and to
Right.
give them support. So we do see that a lot.
Mhm. Wow.
Okay. Let me read. Freehandedly Made said, okay, my grandson has been fostered to my in-laws now for 3 years. The process has not happened, but I know they are looking into adopting my grandson. So, and I want to say Travelers Guild, Jen said, I think what you do, Jen, is so important. Children's safety and security is critical. It is so important that all children grow up in a loving and supportive family. Thank you for your service.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Isn't
Yes,
that
it is important. We want to do right by our children,
Yes.
and you know,
They're our future. They
Right.
are our
they
future.
are they are.
We need to stop that generational curse. I mean, well, we call it that, but what it is just generational, like you said, drug abuse, alcoholism, whatever that situation, not being a nurturing parent. I mean, whatever that is, and you see it, like you said, back 3 generations, maybe further than that, but you see it even if they're second generation, we want to stop it because before that child becomes a third generation, don't we?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of times they just don't know. If you don't
Right.
know, you
Just
can't
don't
do.
know.
So if you were never taught how to be a parent and never had a healthy home, then you don't know how to do that for your children. And so that's what we go in to try to help them do, is
Right.
how to be a healthy parent.
It's right. Well, it's been so.
Well, that's the foundation of the family. I mean, healthy parents, healthy children. We want to,
Yes.
like you said,
healthy society.
healthy society.
healthy community.
Yeah, it definitely starts at home,
Right.
doesn't it?
Mhm.
And I would
And
say
children are- well,
one thing maybe that CV did, where we all stayed home. Some families got to spend time with their children and work from home, so they got. I mean,
Right.
there was little glimmers of light through that whole
Yes.
situation where people did get to. They were home with their kids, good, bad, or indifferent. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping that some families really did reconnect during that time. And
it was stressful, I'm sure, for the best of families in some ways.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even the best of families, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right.
But I do know this. I'm just speaking from my experience. I know that when my kids were little and school was out, I looked forward to summer vacation with my
Mhm.
children. I enjoyed it. I looked forward to it. And we used to go maybe to the drive-in the last day of school or whatever, as near as we could. And that'd be our big celebration to go to a drive-in.
Yeah. What's a drive-in, Lynn?
Yeah, and see a summer, blockbuster, right? But,
There are very few drive-ins anymore.
well,
Everybody watches.
Jen and I
movies.
have one in the local area.
Well, yeah, you got to go a little ways, but most everybody watches their movies on their phones. I watch TV
Yes.
all day long and in YouTube, and
Wow.
now TikTok.
Right.
Now I discovered TikTok, so go over there and was it friend or what do you call that? You like or follow or
You follow.
follow?
Mhm.
Okay, so follow over there.
We need to say a prayer for free handling maids.
Okay.
Like she said, she doesn't understand when the court laid out qualifications why why she didn't try to get her son back, that type of thing. So
Right.
it's
Yes.
loving you still love your child.
Absolutely.
That's I would say without question. I'd say 99% love their children. I'm sure there's always come on.
Exception. There's always exceptions, right? There's
Right.
always exceptions.
But loving your child and being able to overcome your situation. I'm sure pulling yourself up by your bootstraps is but look, when you got Jen out here and you've got others like her, in the caring people in the system and all the programs that's been put in effect, we're almost without an excuse in some ways, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe so. There's so much help out there. And, I know that our staff are endless on their tries to get families involved. And,
Right.
They just keep going and going and going to do it. So,
Mhm. Some people, it may be hard to ask for help.
yes.
They know they need it, but they're afraid. Maybe
Well, they're
because
afraid
think-
they're going to lose their children too.
Yeah,
Right.
they're afraid that they're afraid that who knows what they're afraid of. But
What is it? Most people, a majority of people, are one paycheck away from not having an income and maybe not having groceries. We don't realize the homeless population out there is not all just
adults, no.
No, and it's not always their fault that they find it's through divorce or illness or
Mhm.
whatever the situation is. They find themselves in a situation that they've never faced before in their life. So
I had one family one time say, I just don't understand why you treat us like we're normal, like we're like you. And I didn't understand what she said, and I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you're just so real with us. You just treat us like we're, your friend or, not really a friend, but like just a normal person you would meet somewhere. And I said, because if I were in your shoes, I would want a me. And I'm
Yeah.
one decision away from being you.
Yes,
So we're just one choice away from being these families.
Yeah.
that's right.
And
That's
so
right.
that's how I've always kind of worked in this job, is I could have made that exact same choice and been in their position.
Yes, yes.
So it's resources are there, and hey, Mr. Vlad. Oh, you missed it earlier. You missed it earlier. You're driving, huh? And you're listening. Oh, we showed a clip of Mama, and oh boy.
And Vladma showed a picture of Vladma.
Yeah, we showed Vladma.
So,
I think Vladma had a tiara on. I have to go back to that. Can we show that again?
sure.
I think it looks like Vladma has a tiara on up top.
Oh, she does.
I didn't catch that
She
till
does.
just recently. Yeah, Vladma's she's got a pretty wig on. She's got a tiara on, and even makeup. I see
Wow.
mascara and eyeshadow.
You know, she's a doll.
She's a doll baby, Vladma. But Mama, she's not real happy with you, but she forgives you. She knows it's not your fault.
Oh, absolutely.
That you won, that she won. I say Vladma won the little contest
Yeah.
that we had. Oh, Vladma, you'll have to make a return.
Yeah.
Coming back, Vladma.
We'll just have to wait on that one now. I don't know if Mama will be there or not.
Well, we could have Mama stop by. You just have to tell her to come on,
I'll
Vladma.
tell you what, she's in
Mama.
the other room right now. She's relaxing in the other room. I hope she's watching our show, but you know,
She probably is. She'd want to
with
see herself
cameraman. I think
Huh?
her and cameraman are together watching the show.
drinking coffee in there.
Yeah, it'll be time now. Let's see here. It'll be time for her nap pretty soon, her morning nap. And then she'll have lunch about 1 after she gets up from her nap. Of course, this is her second nap of the morning. You know, she's a corker. She's a corker.
Oh, but we love our Mama.
Oh yes, I love my Mama.
And she may be the next hot thing on TikTok.
I
I don't know what we'll do with her if she is.
She'll get the big head on that. Let me.
Yeah.
I'll check
what'll
her
happen,
real quick.
her hats won't fit anymore if she
I
gets.
know. Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am.
She's had a video now that has 711 views.
Wow. We better now, Mama. Don't you get the big head? I know you're listening.
I think.
I'm not gonna buy you a new hat.
Goodness. Keep talking, and I'll try to find that. We'll have to show that video here.
Cameraman says, "Yep, Mama and I are loving the Ann Lynn Show."
Oh my goodness.
Well, Mama, don't get a big head now.
Well, she probably will.
I'm not going to buy her any new hats to fit her big head. I'll tell you that.
Well, I do think Mama needs some new hats.
Oh,
Don't you?
well,
I think she needs
I
some
might
new
have to go up to Goodwill and see if I can find her some. She'll have to have a whole new wardrobe if she becomes a TikTok sensation.
Here.
Well, hello there. This is Memo. This is your Memo. I'm coming to you for the Dear Memo show. That's right, Dear Memo, where you can send me any questions you have, and maybe I can answer them, maybe I can't. You know, I'm no expert. I'm no doctor. I'm no psychiatrist. I'm no gynecologist. I'm no nothing like that. I'm no love doctor or expert. But I have fun just answering your questions off, you know, just answering your questions, being silly like Mama always is. But anyway, you can send me your questions, and I want to show you. You've been sending me your questions. Looky here at all these questions you've been sending, and I've answered all of these right now. So I'm ready for some more Dear Mama. Send me your questions at lowercase letters, dearmemo@gmail.com. That's right, dearmemo@gmail.com. And just get those in the mail, and I'll be glad to answer them. I love you, and I'm going to send you some memo kisses out there. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Goodbye.
You'll have to watch every Wednesday for the answers to your questions on the new segment, Dear Mama, on the Ann Lynn Show, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's the video that's gotten over 700 views on TikTok. TikTok.
Tic tac, tic tac. Hey, that's a mint. That's a mint.
I know, it's a mint.
Hey, there's a controversy kind of brewing on.
I see what's going on in chat.
Well, it's just in general. Seems like men get kind of blamed for things. Hey, I know a gal right now. I'll tell you, it may seem like maybe men get their children taken away, but I know a young lady right now that it's in both their ballparks actually. And then she wound up with the child, and she's really an unfit mother. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the case. And Major said, how does the local authority know what's best for you and your children? I would say experience that they've experienced, wouldn't you, Jen?
Yeah. Nobody goes in wanting to take these children. They have to do a full assessment to remove these children.
Right.
So these kids had to be very neglected and abused for that to occur.
Right. And sometimes you can just look at the child and they're unclean, they're unkept, they have
if the house is dirty and there's cockroaches, or it's
in the
just
home.
pretty, common sense, I would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Common sense, but I know through experience, I know the judges have experience also. So.
Absolutely.
And it's not forever. It's just it can be temporary. It can be temporary, can't it?
Yes. Yeah. So, each of our counties are a little bit different in how they're run and the judges, but I know that our far eastern counties over closer to Ohio, I have some staff over there, and their cases are run pretty quick. So once they get in and get those services and they start doing better, they get those kids home right away. They don't wait. So it can be a pretty quick process as long as they are doing what they need to do.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for the Major.
Okay.
So Major, how do they handle these types of situations in the UK? Because we don't know how it's handled over there. Just saying.
Right.
How do y'all handle it over there in the UK? Because I know this isn't just here in our country. There's terrible situations around the world, and but yeah, I'd be curious to know how these things are handled over there. So if you pop it in there right away, we'll discuss. We'll discuss it. But now next week Mama will be back answering your questions. Won't she?
Yes. So remember, do just drop her a question.
Yes. Let me see. I think I have her email here.
Okay. If you want to pop it up there.
Dear Mama
at gmail.com.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, common sense. Yes, I told
you. She'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, Mama would like to hear.
She's no expert on much of anything, but
no.
She enjoys trying to answer questions.
Right. She's just
send her a fluffy question, which is just lighthearted.
What's a fluffy question? that might be controversial. Talk about controversial.
No, lighthearted.
Lighthearted. Lighthearted.
Lighthearted. They don't have to drop her heavy duty question. I mean, come on, she can't pick up heavy duty. Just give her something silly and she'll answer it.
Right. And no more than a PG, people. No more than a PG.
She's
Okay.
gotten a couple that are borderline.
No R-rated questions for you.
No, she has a couple R-rated questions, and I
No.
think she makes. She still addressed them, and I think that she addressed them in the right way.
Yes.
And, the only
we
way
don't want
she
to kill
could,
grandma. Yeah.
no trollings.
Yeah. Well, I do want to say that next week I will be in an undisclosed location.
You will be.
I will be.
Oh, yes, you will be, won't you?
I will be, but I'll be here.
Willoughby. That's from Jane Austen, Willoughby.
Yeah, I'll be here, and Lynn will be here, and dear Mama will be here. And it's going to be just a great show, and you'll just have to tune in to see what's going on next week. Right, Lynn?
Right. The server is in now.
The server, you finally made it. You're an hour and 16 minutes late. You'll have to go back and watch the replay.
That's right.
But we are so glad that you are here. Thank you for tuning in. And we want to thank Jen for being with us today, don't we, Lynn?
Yes, we should.
Yes.
It's been really, Oops. Hang on.
Oh,
I hit the mic.
Got excited.
Got to do it the right way, because
Got to do it the right way
today. She's with
yes.
us. What a
We want
blessing.
to say thank you very much for being here.
Yes,
and thank you because you are and were an essential worker.
Yes,
and I'm telling you, it's stuff that it's beyond me because I just cannot imagine. She's got quite a career.
Yes.
Gone to college to learn to do this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you have a license and everything.
Sure do.
So, So anyone shout out to your office again before we
Bye,
go?
office. See you Monday.
Oh, she's got to go back to work on Monday. Oh.
Hopefully you didn't pull a big prank on me this time in my office. While I was gone. We are pranksters on one another when we go on vacation. So
one time, what?
Like one time I came back and everything was covered in Reynolds wrap. Every pen, my desk, every
Reynolds
picture, everything was in Reynolds wrap.
Oh my gosh! So they sabotaged your office.
They did. Yes, we do that to one another.
I want to apologize to the server. The server's been here and commented earlier. I guess that just went by us, so we apologize.
No.
Please accept our apology.
I'm sorry, server. I'm so sorry. I am sorry too.
Yeah, accept our apology.
I am sorry. Okay.
Sometimes the chat goes fast. Sometimes we just miss it. I try to keep up with chat a little bit, but then I really wanted to hear what Jen had to say, and I wanted to give my attention there. So I missed some of the chat.
Yes. But we do want to thank everybody that was here today. Major, we still like you. Okay. You got a little edgy there on us a little earlier. A little edgy. Where's my pen? You got your pen, Jen?
Oh, I got my pen.
Okay, you got the major. Behave yourself.
Okay, Travelers Guild says, thanks so much for the insightful stream, Ann and Lynn. And thanks, mods and chat peeps. I really enjoyed our time together.
Yes, I'm so glad Helen was here today to mod for us.
Yes.
The girlie popped in and out. She'll watch the replay. She's our mod too.
Yes.
And we just want yes. And let me go back here. I'm going to see. Yeah, she was here. The girlie was here. Helen, Ari55, the coolest dude I know.
That's right.
He is cool.
Cool.
Ari, you're just cool.
Yeah, he is. He's just cool.
Yes. He's a cool dude. We just love Ari. He plays the guitar. He's a star watcher, and he takes videos of all kinds of stuff. I've got a telescope, and I still haven't gotten it out yet this year. Outside, it's in my dining room.
It's there in your dining room.
Yeah, I like to look at the stars and the moon and all that kind of stuff. But Ari has the equipment to really focus in and get good videos. He's got his own little channel. And who else was here today? I don't want to miss nobody. Free Hanley Maid, she has her own channel, and Free Hanley is just an awesome lady. We have had several channels here today. And so Travelers Guild. Do you have a channel? I was thinking you do.
Oh, and Travelers Guild said, and of course, thanks to special guest Jen.
Absolutely. Travelers Guild.
Oh, another thing, we need some.
You work though
and
during
Eric,
the day, right?
Eric is here. Much love to everyone from Eric.
Oh, well, hello, Eric.
Right.
We don't want to miss anybody. Now, I was thinking,
Now, Ann, isn't there a different email though if they want to be a guest on the Ann Lynn Show?
yes,
You want to put that up?
yes, I can. We'll show
Okay.
that real quickie.
Okay,
you
right
go.
there it says, would you like to join us on the Ann Lynn Show? Email us at lynnan1740@gmail.com. That's
Yeah.
lynnan1740@gmail.com.
Or if you want to send us some fan mail,
Oh, it's the Ann Lynn Show, P.O. Box 805, Scottsburg, Indiana, 47170. I'm going to go over and check the mailbox today.
are you?
Uh-huh.
Gotta make that trek over there.
P.O. Box 805, Scottsburg, Indiana, 47170.
Yeah, send us some fan mail. Yeah. But anyhow, it has been fun today. Yes, it was very informative. And Eric, that would work. If you film it, Eric is a chef. He's an executive chef at a new restaurant and would like to do the filming there for the cooking show. Yes. If you want to film it and send me your video file and I will show it.
That's
we might
right.
be able to do that, or we can hook up another way. But yes, that would work, Eric. So get back with me, okay? All right. That sounds great. And just send us a line at lynnan1740@gmail.com. Be here next week for another all-new live show from I'll be in an undisclosed location.
Do we have a guest next week?
No,
I
I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, well. No, we may have.
Hey, it still may happen. So
Okay, because I know you're going to be at an undisclosed location.
undisclosed location. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
But who knows?
You may be the special guest next week.
I know who the special guest is. That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyhow, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you all again for being here today. And we look forward to seeing you next week
Yes.
on an all-new Ann Lynn show. We got
Oh,
a coffee clink out.
Well, let me just say this, Jen and family, have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. They're going to be heading back in the morning.
Mhm.
So this is our last day.
Right. And I know it's been a wonderful time together.
It has been.
I know it has
So we
been.
clink out. Goodbye, Lynn.
Goodbye.
Lynn.
Bye, everyone. Love you.
We love you, and we will see you next week right here, okay? Same time,
Same channel, the Ann
same
Lynn Show.
channel. Yeah. Oh, granny kisses. You're going to give out just kisses.
Just kisses.
Just
Yep.
She's not a granny.
Not a granny.
Goodbye
Thank
now.
you, everyone. Bye-bye.